Hey everybody, today I want to do a quick video about interceptions. Um, the idea of interceptions is that they're supposed to be rare, but I'm finding them more and more as I do more charts. The idea of an interception is that the energy that is being intercepted is actually trapped within a certain house. If there are double signs, let's say with a Pisces interception, you might have Aquarius ruling your third and second house, or you might have Aries ruling your fifth and your sixth house. So to have two houses ruled under the same sign lets you know that you have an interception. So when I say an energy is trapped in a house, that doesn't mean that you can't get to it, you can't utilize it, or it's not a part of you. It's still a part of you, but it's just a part of you that takes time to understand, get to know, and make useful. So let's keep with the fourth house. If you have Pisces in your fourth house intercepted, that means the energy of Pisces, these things that someone with Pisces in their fourth house are used to, are things that you have to get used to. Things that you might not resonate with, even though it's clearly seen in your life as much as someone with Pisces in their fourth house. And this also means with that energy that's actually ruling over your fourth house, let's say Aquarius is there, you're going to have a mix of both. You're going to have Aquarius energy surrounding your fourth house with Pisces influence. The idea of an interception is that you're not used to the energy. So this means the negatives and the positives are not plainly seen in your life or seen within you. So the positive sides to having Pisces in your fourth house would mean that you're surrounded by art, you're surrounded by beauty, you're surrounded by nebulousness, spirituality, and religion. The idea of Aquarius actually being your fourth house cusp and Pisces being intercepted is that people have to tell you that you're religious and that you're surrounded by all these spiritual things, where you're living your life feeling like, well, I don't feel like it's that deep. Yeah, my dad studies priesthood and the ideas of how it created and where does religion come from, but he's an archaeologist, he's not religious. That's that sort of influence where you have someone who studies something and you're surrounded by people who study things like an Aquarius, but what are they studying? That idea of others having to tell you that you're surrounded by spirituality when you feel like you're surrounded by information. That can be something that can be seen with a fourth house cusp and Aquarius and Pisces intercepted in that house. There's going to be a mix, and it's something that you might not pick up on immediately. I consider that to be a positive, to be surrounded by something like that information on spirituality. So a negative side to something like that would be the fact that you're surrounded by nebulousness, lies, and deceit. For your father, let's keep on with this idea. With your father being an archaeologist who studies all these different types of spiritual things, you might not notice that the things that you have around your house are stolen. Some of the things some of these artifacts that surround your environment that actually become totems for spirituality with having Pisces in your fourth house. Maybe he did not actually write these down or talk about them to anybody. He actually just took them from the scene and never said anything. That's the idea of that deceit, those lies, and that nebulousness of not actually knowing what's stolen and what's not. The drama of things like that would be a part of your life, and it's something that you might get exposed to later on in life, something you do not recognize immediately. Another affliction of having Pisces in your fourth house. But since it's intercepted, you'll have to get used to it. It's not something you're born recognizing. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Another thing another idea that surrounds interceptions to me is the idea that a Saturn return, your first Saturn return, is what unlocks this. I go along with the idea of a first Saturn return doing this because I feel like with your first Saturn return, you're introduced to who you really are. You're not allowed to be anyone else when that Saturn return comes. Your chart is your chart, Saturn is where he is, and you need to be the best that you can be. It takes the rest of your chart to support wherever Saturn is placed, and you better support it, or else your Saturn return is going to suck. Either, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to go through whatever you're going to have to go through. But when that Saturn return is over, for better or for worse, you know who you are. You know what your focuses are. You know what you need to get done or what you have accomplished. With that, you'll see your interception. You'll see that energy. You'll be introduced to that energy. Because interceptions cause imbalance. Because it's energy that you do not recognize, which means that it's energy that is most likely ignored. And when energy gets ignored, it builds up. And when energy builds up, it needs to escape. So let's keep on with this Pisces in the fourth house. If you keep ignoring that Pisces interception and not delving into spiritual things and maybe letting yourself be exposed to something more Pisces-like, that energy will build up. And you'll find yourself there in a very inappropriate, rushed, unbalanced way. Life will kind of swing you into that energy. And the same can be said about now the idea of that Virgo interception, because as we all know, the signs are evenly displaced. So if you have a Pisces interception in your fourth house, you have a Virgo interception in your 10th. That energy is going to build up when it's ignored, and it's going to have to explode outward. That buildup will happen and will have to explode outward. And that would mean a kind of desperate grasp at control and perfection, where the results could be devastating, because it's going to be your life or you swinging into this energy completely unbalanced. It's just going to become so heavy that it's like if you have it on a seesaw, it's just going to keep building up and building up and building up until it eventually does like this. Everything needs to fall out, and then it can become balanced again because it's starting all over. So with an interception, you're going to see certain parts of your life are like that. It's going to be constant. You're going to deal with the same problems over and over again. They're going to build up, huge drama, everything goes away, and then you do the same shit all over again. And that idea of working that way will become very obvious with the Saturn return, because it just won't work. Saturn won't let it work. He'll throw it in your face. Look at how you keep fucking up. So I feel like that's when that Saturn return comes. If you haven't gotten used to that energy yet, you have to get used to it now, because Saturn won't allow you to keep living so imbalanced. So I just want to like touch on it. I'm most likely going to do a longer video about it more later on. And yeah, that's just like the basics of an interception. So leave a comment if you have something to say about this. Shoot me an email if you want to talk about your interceptions. You can find me on like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good shit, book reading, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, thanks for watching.